They're nocturnal animals, and when they do eat, they eat up to 50,000 insects in one session. So they sleep during the day and eat during the late evening. A baby by the name of Tatsu was born to his mother and father, OQ and Adila. And if you go in the Aardvark burrow, there's a special viewing window where you can see them. On our right-hand side, this is home to our timber wolves or grey wolves from North Europe, North America and Russia. There's 16 timber wolves in this enclosure, headed by a dominant alpha female named Tallulah. Tallulah can be recognised by a white face, white legs, silver grey body. All the other 15 wolves are either black or tan in colour. And that includes the 6 young cubs who were born to their mother, adult female, by the name of Akila. When the cubs were born, there's 4 brown and 2 black. They were totally blind for the first 2 weeks of their life, and then when they did get clear vision, they got more adventurous and spent longer periods of time in the enclosure. They were born about 7 weeks ago, and I have seen them eating meat in the enclosure, so they're almost completely weaned. But they still go to their mother now and again, probably for a bit of milk for comfort. They are shy and nervous creatures, not fierce and aggressive as led to believe, and they will do anything possible to avoid contact with humans. Over to our right, this is one of our smallest wild dogs, the black-backed jackals from Africa, and there's 4 in this enclosure. Lolita the female and her 3 brothers, Frank, Harry and Elvis. They're scavenger hunters from Africa, and they follow a pride of lions, pack of hyenas, darting in the kill and steal what food they can and then feed. They're still hungry and supplement their diet with large insects. This next enclosure on the right, if you look up just by the hutch and by the tree, and just between the two, you'll see a large binturong or bear cat from Asia. Now, his name is Mushan. He's a nocturnal animal, so he's probably just about decided to wake up as it's 5:05. So he sleeps during the day and eats in the late evening. Now Mushan was in another enclosure with 3 other binturongs. But because he squabbled with his brother Benson, and they drew blood when they fought, they decided to separate them so they don't cause any harm to each other. Unlike the ring-tailed lemurs, when they fight, they don't draw blood, they have a stink fight. The one who smells the worst wins the argument. But the binturong now, when they mark their territory, they mark it with a scent that smells like popcorn. And they come from Asia. This next enclosure on our right is home to our African hunting dogs. You can see one there in the foreground. Awesome predators, successful in 80% of their hunts. Also known as painted dogs. The colour on their back is as unique as our fingerprints, that no 2 are alike. And when they're born, the pups are born black and white, and they get this colour on their backs after about 3 to 4 months. They are endangered due to being hunted by farmers as they prey on livestock, and hunted for their coats for the fur trade. They're successful in 80% of their hunts, and they can run at 41 miles an hour and sustain this speed for an hour at a time. A pack of hunting dogs can bring down a prey over 10 times their size. And now coming up to something less dangerous, these are the red ruff lemurs on our left from eastern Madagascar, which was split from the coast of Africa 160 million years ago, where all lemurs evolved. These red ruff lemurs are a family group consisting of Mother Ruby, Father Jesse, son George and his sister Grace. Now, crepuscular species, only active at dawn and dusk, and they live on diet of fresh fruit, vegetables and various leaves. Now, lemur in Latin means spirit or ghost. It's because they're often mistaken for ghosts in the night. It's because they can leap great distances and make them appear to fly. They can wail like banshees, like you can hear as they're getting off now. And their eyes seem to glow in the dark, so it does scare the local people. Over to our left we have 4 black and white ruff lemurs, one of the largest species of lemur that grows up to 4 feet in length. They have 4 sisters, Anya, Tia, Mia and Siggy, and they was all born here at the zoo. The smallest lemur is the size of a mouse. Over to our right-hand side on Lemur Island is our ring-tailed lemurs. Madison, an adult female in this group, recently gave birth to twins. The twins have not been named and haven't determined whether they're boys or girls. They have 22 rings on their tail, and as I said earlier, when they won an argument, and anyway, to settle the argument, they have a stink fight. And the one who does the greatest smell is the winner. I wouldn't like to be in the middle of that. Then over to our left we have a troop of gelada baboons from Ethiopia. It's the only captive breeding group in England, headed by a dominant alpha male named Junior. He's the biggest and hairiest in the group, and he can have 5 to 30 females in each troop and subsequent youngsters. A youngster was born there on Boxing Day of last year and has been named Yabu. And baby Yabu and his mother are never far from each other, as in the wild this is the difference between life and death, as you can quickly scoop him up to avoid predators. Also known as shuffle feeders, and they're in fact our only grazing primate, and they are endangered due to habitat loss. Now the last 2 trips on this journey, unfortunately the white Bengal tiger has not been in his enclosure. We've looked for him and tried to shunt past very steadily. Sometimes he may be at the back of the enclosure, sometimes he's asleep on the platform or in the undergrowth. But the last 2 trips we had difficulty in seeing him. He is a white Bengal tiger. He's 16-year-old, he's named Sasha, and he weighs over 300 kilograms, and he eats 10 kilograms of fresh meat a day, and 1 in 10,000 Bengal tigers can be born white due to recessive genes. The last known white tiger to be born in the wild was in 1951. Now there is another viewing area where you can see them away from the road train, and that's on the upper level and just to the left of this large enclosure, just beyond Lima Bridge. Now to our left we have 3 species of animal in this enclosure. In the top left corner at the top you may see one or two of our short-clawed otters named River and Lena. They're the smallest species of otter there at the top left at the moment. And then we've got a diet of fish, frogs and crabs. Also in this window is another binturong, and that is Benson the binturong. And he's the one who squabbled with his brother who's in the other enclosure on his own, Lushan. And there's also 2 female binturongs in this enclosure, Sunti and Berry. And they mark their territory with a scent that smells like popcorn. They are nocturnal animals, so they sleep during the day in the evening. But some of the binturons I took to climb in the climbing frame to our left, they're affectionately known as bear cats from Asia, and they've got very strong front claws enabling them to climb. And they have a little black bushy tail, back 2 foot long. The silverleaf langurs or silverleaf monkeys in its enclosure, unusual trait about these monkeys from Indochina and Burma, that when the mother gives birth, the babies are born orange in colour to remind her to feed them. A few months to revert to the colour of the parents, that's silver grey. This enclosure beyond the large 4 glass panels, you look to the very top of it, you may see our 2 red pandas from the Himalayas, Lushan the female and Anan the male, crepuscular species, only active at dawn and dusk, and they live on a diet of bamboo shoots, small mammals, birds, eggs, blossom and berries. Live to 18 to 20 years in captivity. Solitary animals only approach each other during the mating season. To our left there's a large black building, and there's 6 windows on the lower level. If you look behind them 6 windows you may see our lion-tailed macaques from the Gap Valley region of southwest India. They get their name because they have a lion-type mane and a lion-type tail. They are endangered due to habitat loss. They live to 38 years of age in captivity. The male can have 5 to 30 females in his troop, and he will tolerate 1 or 2 juvenile males. They live high in the trees, but believe it or not, they make excellent swimmers. Over to our right, across Lake Kariba, you will see a very large bird. Got a little bit of black under his body, and they've got a lot of white feathers. And she is in fact a Dalmatian pelican. Second largest of the pelican species and rarest of the 7 species. Endangered, down to 3,000 to 4,000 in the wild. She has a wingspan of 3.2 metres, over 10 feet, and stands at a height of 1.2 metres. Not the heaviest bird, weighs between 6 and 10 kilograms. Makes a home in the wetlands, lays 1 to 3 eggs for her chicks. In the wetlands there's plenty of fresh fish for the subsequent hatchlings.